Welcome to 4DetroitDudes TV. I'm your host, Ted Bilowski, and this, my friends, is The Dude Show. We're taking video blogging here in the D to a whole new level, and tonight, we're taking our beer drinking to a whole new level. We've got a concept we like to call the Brown Bag Beer Challenge. I've been pumped about this for a couple of weeks now, and I'm really excited to show it to you guys, so we're going to jump right into it. It's a simple concept. We've got 3 beers here in brown bags. I have no idea which 3 these beers are. I know they're 3 Michigan breweries, and that's it. So what we're going to do is taste each one, then I'm going to rank them, and then we're going to reveal them to you. So, simple concept. We'll pick a winner, and let's jump right into it. I don't need to waste any time tonight. Beer number 1. Again, I don't know what beers these are, but I've already poured each one, so we've got beer number 1 right here. We'll take a look at it right away. You can kind of see it's got a kind of a reddish amber color to it. Nice head on it. These other beers, I just poured all these a couple minutes ago, and each of these other 2 don't have quite as big a head on them, but I'm going to go ahead and give this one a pull. Well, actually, we're going to give it a little sniff first. This one doesn't have a ton of aroma. Now, these beers have been open for a few minutes, so sometimes that's going to, lower the aroma level a little bit, but this one's got a little bit of almost a piney smell to it, a little bit of fruity, kind of citrusy, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a rip. This one's got really a pretty nice malt complex to it initially. It's not super bitter, so I don't think it's an IPA. Kind of tastes a little bit like a, almost like a European or a, sort of a non-traditional American, just regular pale ale. It's not super hoppy. It's got a really nice malt mixture to it. That's a pretty good beer. Not bad. Beer number 2. Again, I don't know what these beers are. I know they're Michigan breweries. This one, if you take a look at these 2, very different coloring on them. This one is much lighter, much more of kind of a golden color to it, whereas beer number 1 here has got more of that orange, kind of reddish lager look to it. This one looks to be a considerably lighter beer. Like I said, you notice the head on this one, far smaller than beer number 1. So let's give it a little sniff. Yeah, this one's got sort of a sour, almost bitter smell to it, which is strange, but again, being kind of a lighter looking beer, you don't typically have that type of aroma, but let's go ahead and give it a pull. This beer is very crisp, but again, it's got that, it tastes almost exactly like it smells. It's got very kind of bitter aroma and kind of a bitter, it's not overpowering like an IPA. Again, I would probably say this is more of just a regular pale ale, but it's got a nice malt complex and it's got a little bit of bitter, hoppiness to it, but nothing overpowering. Yeah, that's also a good beer. So beer number 3, let's move on. This is the last one. Now, from a color perspective, this one is closer to beer number 1. This is beer number 2. This is the 3rd beer here. So let's take a look at beer number 1. You can see these colors very similar. This one is much more of an amber, kind of reddish color, whereas again, beer number 2 had a little bit more of kind of a yellowish, hue to it. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one a sniff of beer number 3. Again, having opened these beers a couple minutes ago, a lot of you lose a lot of the aromatic flavoring to it. You really, when you open these beers, you really want to pour them in a glass immediately and then take a nice big, whiff. But this one, they all kind of smell similar. This one, similar to the first one, doesn't have a ton of strong aromatics, whereas number 2 had a little bit more of a bitter, smell coming through. But let's go ahead and give this one a rip. This has got almost caramel, kind of a caramely malty flavor to it. Very crisp. Again, I would say it's not, definitely not an IPA, potentially a pale ale. I think there's a good shot that we've got 3 pale ales here actually, and they're, all slightly different. Again, this one's got Not much smell. Actually, now that I've kind of mixed it up a little bit and taken a couple of swigs off of it, the aroma's starting to come out again, and it's kind of got that caramely aroma, just like it tastes. A lot of hops, but again, not super overpowering. It's got the bitterness, but it's very, very smooth, which is very consistent with just a regular pale ale as opposed to an India pale ale that's usually got a lot more hops and really going to blast you in the face. So I like that beer too. This is going to be a really tough decision tonight. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go back through and just taste all three again really quickly. Then I'm going to rank them, and then we're going to unveil them. So beer number one, again, kind of the red tint to it. Oh, there, that smell's coming through now again. Piney, definitely got kind of a pine cone citrus smell going on. Malty, very malty flavor to that one. Beer number two, again, lighter in color, not as much head, way lighter actually than the first one, similar to beer number three. And this one's got a strong, kind of bitter smell to it. Go ahead and give it a pull. Yeah, definitely a bitter taste. You know, it's got that kind of malty malt mixed with hop. It's a little bit more hop than the first one. And then beer number three, oh, strong caramel. I mean, when you smell it now, that caramel smell's coming through big time. And it's got the caramel finish. So, okay, we've got the three beers. I've tasted all three of them. I'm going to go ahead and rank each one of them right now. I'd say number three, and I'm going to give it 85-point ranking, is going to be beer number one. Again, red color, nice taste to it. You know, not my all-time favorite beer. Crisp, but a very, very good beer. So I'm going to rank that one 85. That's going to come in at number three. Excuse me, at number two, I'm going to go with beer number three here. This is the one that really is coming through the caramel aroma and really a caramel aftertaste. You know, nice malt produces that caramel flavor. So we've got number three, number two, and my favorite beer of the night, I'm going to go with beer number two here. Again, it's got kind of that, this is similar to an IPA in the bitterness factor. You know, for some reason right now I'm on a kick where the beers that I like do have that kind of overpowering, not super overpowering, but you know, more than a normal beer, it's going to taste bitter, and that's really why I chose this one. So 85 points, 87 points, 90 points for beer number two, which is the winner. So let's go ahead and unveil these, okay? At number three, we've got beer number one here, which actually, I'll rip this open here. Beer number three, I'm sorry, beer number one, but ranked number three in our challenge tonight is the Motor City Brewing Works Ghetto Blaster. Ghetto Blaster is a really, really good beer. It's an English-style mild ale, which, you know, when I tasted it, I did think it's got kind of a European, I think I mentioned that, kind of that English-European style to it. This is a very, very good beer. I love Motor City Brewing Works downtown. If you haven't been there, go down there and check it out. They make great beers. This one, unfortunately, tonight came in number three for me, but very, very good beer. So number two tonight is actually beer number three. Beer number three is the Atwater Pale Ale. So this is Atwater Block Brewery, downtown Detroit. Really good brewery. They make some excellent beers. And again, this has got kind of a European flavor to it. It actually says on the bottle here, this well-balanced pale ale is a combination of both European and Northwest American hops. Very, very smooth. All these beers tonight are very smooth. So Atwater Pale Ale, get down to Atwater Brewery. They've got great food down there. It's a great brewery, and they make some awesome beers. Tonight they came in second in our Brown Bag Beer Challenge. Excuse me, and our winner tonight, number one in the Brown Bag Beer Challenge, which is actually beer number two here in our brown bags, is the Bell's Pale Ale. I had a feeling when I tasted it that this was a Bell's beer. You know, it's really kind of a blonde ale, and it's really got kind of a spicy, now that I kind of go back and taste it again. It's very much got a spicy flavor to it. Bell's obviously is one of the top breweries in the country. They make phenomenal beers. And go out and get yourself some Bell's Pale Ale. Hell, go out and get yourself some Ghetto Blaster, and go get yourself some Atwater Pale Ale, and have this do this taste test yourself. Tell us which beers you like. Which one do you like best? Do you agree with me? Do you think the Bell's Pale Ale is the best one? I think on any given night, as we've talked about in the past, your palates change and your mood changes. So I could really rank these differently on any given night. But tonight, Bell's Pale Ale is the winner. Thanks for tuning into the Dude Show. We've got some more great shows coming up. Stay tuned for that. Tell your friends about us. Go out and buy these beers. Taste them. Come to the website, post comments underneath these videos, tell us on Facebook what you think, find us on Twitter, check out these videos on YouTube, pass them along. Again, we want to keep doing what we're doing, trying to create some buzz about things that are going on here in Detroit. We love Michigan beers, we love downtown Detroit breweries, which 2 of these are, so get down there and check those out. Just get out and experience the D, because it's a great place and there's a lot going on. I'm going to finish up these beers and we'll catch you next time on the Dude Show.